SpaceX's new Starship is now confirmed as the best spacecraft ever made. Elon Musk is a man that revolutionizes any industry he finds himself in. While it might seem like SpaceX is relenting, the opposite is the case. With the company announcing the Starship, the race to be the best is about to be won by a very large margin. SpaceX has attached its Starship spacecraft to its booster, making it the biggest spacecraft ever made. Elon Musk and SpaceX hope eventually to use Starship to send people to the moon and beyond, and it is central to the billionaire's plans to allow humanity to become a multi-planetary species. So how did Elon Musk and SpaceX build the giant Starship to become the best spacecraft ever made? Let's find out. In September of 2019, Elon Musk announced the Starship, the first version of this next-generation vehicle. Musk spoke in front of the 50-meter, 200-ton Starship prototype and described it as the most inspiring thing ever. The Starship System is a two-stage orbiting super heavy launch vehicle being developed by SpaceX. The system consists of a growth stage called Super Heavy and a second stage also known as Starship. The Starship, SpaceX's breakthrough, was a massive vehicle that could theoretically take people into space to land safely back on Earth, and possibly turn around and do it all over again. Musk explained that being able to return to space multiple times with a rapidly reusable orbital rocket is the key to the company's plans. Why did SpaceX have to build the best spacecraft ever? To add to the stupendous achievements like the successful landing of the first man on the moon in 1969. But apart from the successes of the space conquest industry, there have been many accidents that have resulted in tragic deaths. To ensure the safety of people while flying in orbit and space, SpaceX has been very successful in designing spacesuits for astronauts to fly to the ISS. Meanwhile, SpaceX also tests Starship prototypes to find the best version that can help humanity conquer space. SpaceX's philosophy is test, fly, fail, fix, iterate. It is this philosophy that has created SpaceX's historic success with the successful landing of SN-15, and they are now focusing on preparing the first orbital flights of SN-20 and BN-4. Elon Musk said that it would take a very long time to build an installation specifically for Starship. This is the underlying reason why to this day SpaceX still sets up Starship ships in tents, then moves to the higher bay to continue stacking, which makes Starship the best spacecraft ever built. Many modern rockets use carbon fiber instead to build the vehicle. The Starship is made of stainless steel, which gives it an iconic shiny look. There are a few reasons why SpaceX chose stainless steel to build the Starship. The first, and arguably most important, is cost. Considering the wastage, carbon fiber can cost up to $200 per kilogram, while the same amount of stainless steel only costs $3. Stainless steel is heavier than other rocket materials, but it comes with several key benefits that ultimately make the entire vehicle, including its heat shield, lighter than otherwise possible, Musk said. Stainless steel is flexible and strong at super cold temperatures, which is important because Starship and Super Heavy will be loaded with 9 million pounds of cryogenic methane and liquid oxygen at liftoff. The melting point of steel is about 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,500 degrees Celsius. The aluminium used on the spacecraft orbiter is much larger than that. For a reusable ship, you're coming in as a meteor, Musk. So what can we expect to find inside a 164-foot stainless steel Starship? In current models, the nose cone at the top of the craft is left blank for some of the key pieces of tech, and SpaceX plans to convert this space into a functional cargo bay and crew quarters for about 100 passengers to travel to Mars. Each cabin will be large enough for 2 to 3 people, although there is always the ability to carry more passengers in exchange for a little more comfort. Common areas, storage space, and shelter from potential encounters with dangerous solar storms can also be placed in nose cones. A large viewing gallery at the top of the cone will provide the perfect spot for travelers to view the universe or catch a violin concert. Others speculate that the area could include recreational spaces, such as gyms, according to an artist presented on the SpaceX website. What's clear, though, is that one of SpaceX's top priorities is to keep the weight to a minimum. Why starships are so special compared to others? As commercial interest in reusable launch systems has grown significantly during the 21st century, with many active launches, reusability would be a huge plus for starships. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has said that if someone could figure out how to reuse rockets, such as airplanes, the cost of access to space would be reduced by a factor of 100. Reusability is the key to Starship's design, which means it needs to be able to land safely. SpaceX has already had some success with its same stage rocket, the Falcon 9, the world's first orbital-class reusable rocket. Unlike the Falcon 9, however, the Starship is much larger at 120 meters long and 9 meters in diameter, meaning the same vertical landing technique is not possible. SpaceX's solution is using a catch tower to grab the Super Heavy booster from the air. SpaceX will manufacture a couple of versions of Starship. Crew configuration, which will feature a 1,000 cubic meter cabin capable of accommodating 100 passengers. Cargo configuration that will be fully enclosed, capable of deploying over 100 tons of cargo. Its payload fairing will have a width of 8 meters and an extended volume capable of accommodating payloads as long as 22 meters. Starship Lunar Lander that will conduct missions to the moon. It is designed to carry out missions for NASA under its Artemis program, which aims to take the first woman and the next man to the lunar surface in 2024. Finally, the Mars Starship is the current design SpaceX is working on at Boca Chica. It features aerodynamic fins that will be needed to navigate Mars's atmosphere upon landing. It will also feature a heat shield across the atmosphere on Mars and upon return to Earth. This version of the Starship is designed to carry out frequent voyages to enable a spacefaring civilization. Following the historic success of SN-15, we are focusing all available resources on the first orbital flight of SN-20 and Booster 4. SpaceX has just rolled out Booster 3 to the Launch Pad A in preparation for ground testing to collect more data for Booster 4. Elon Musk has stated that the Booster 4 will feature many design improvements and changes compared to the previous generation. Of course, this change is necessary for Booster 4 to fly into orbit with SN-20. It is the flight that the whole world is looking forward to, but SpaceX has not yet officially confirmed the test date. If SpaceX's orbital flight test is successful, the goal of conquering space and building a city on Mars will not be so far off. Hopefully, we can all see that wonderful thing happening together. That's all for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a like and share. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.